Hi, boys and girls. Our letter for this week is the letter R. Capital R and lowercase r. They look very different from each other. And here's our R house. You always try to guess who purchased that house, so the sold sign is still up. While I'm pointing out some things, think of some things that might sound like this, the letter R. So rabbit, I see a rabbit over there. Rabbit starts with an R, so I don't think it would be a rabbit because he's one of the friends of the owners. Over here we have something from the farm, a rooster. Rooster starts with R. Something over here in the corner is a rake. This is a pretty flower. The name of that flower is a rose. And then above the house, we have something flying with some black smoke. That's a rocket. So let's think. There are a lot of other animals, and there's some mammals that I'm thinking of that start with the R sound. All right, if you have it in your head, only you can know if you guess the right answer. Meet Rodney Raccoon. That's Rodney, and a raccoon. Raccoon starts with the letter R. So Rodney is here, and Rodney has a very special job. He's a repairman. Here he is with all his tools, and it says that Rodney is reliable. That's a big word. Reliable means that we can count on you. Like if I said, oh, that girl or boy is reliable. They'll have their homework at the next class. That means you are pretty noted for bringing your homework in on time. Or you know your mom and dad are always reliable. They're always there for you. So that's a hard word. Reliable starts with the letter R. We always laugh at the car that they drive. And Rodney has a really funny car. Rodney's car is a radish. A radish is a vegetable that maybe some of your families are getting ready to plant this spring. And he has a rocket attached to it. So there's our letter R in the center there of the radish and the rocket for Rodney Raccoon. Put his vehicle next to his house there. And now it's time for Rodney to give you his vocabulary words. So I'm going to give you some clues and see if you can guess. These are all words that sound like Rodney, the sound that R makes. The first one is an easy one. And maybe you've been doing this in your gardens. We worked in our garden this weekend and we were cleaning up some leaves. If you have to clean up the yard or clean up some leaves, you would use this tool. It's a rake. Rake starts with the letter R. Okay, the next couple boys and girls are going to be animals. This is an easy one. This is a cute little animal that has a fluffy tail and two floppy ears. I know you got this one quickly. It's a rabbit. Rabbit starts with the letter R. The next one's not as easy. The next one is a mammal, kind of grayish brown in color, with a face that looks like he's wearing a mask, and his tail looks like it has rings on it or circles on it, a ringed tail, a fluffy tail. If this is a tricky one, it's a raccoon. That's what Rodney is. Rodney is a raccoon. It looks like he's wearing a mask for Halloween, a raccoon. The next one is it's from Africa. We don't have these in Old Forge, these animals. They're in Taylor. He's a really large mammal. He's gray in color, and he either has one or two horns coming from his nose. Really, really big. If you guessed a rhinoceros, that's correct. Sometimes we just call him a rhino for the letter R. Rhinoceros. That's hard to say. Everyone say rhinoceros. That's a hard word. Okay, those are the animals. Now the next one is something that maybe you boys and girls might want to do now that the weather's getting nicer. It's a shoe with wheels on it. A shoe with wheels, 4 wheels. You could either go to a rink or you can do this on your back patio or in your driveway. Roller skate. Roller skate starts with the letter R. The next one is something that was flying over Rodney's house. It has some black smoke coming out and it goes very fast in space. I'm sure you guessed a rocket. And I know the next one is tricky. It's something that a lot of boys and girls like at Tiny Tots. I think we may have had some. It would be something that we'd be seeing for show and tell days. It's kind of looks like a person, but it's not a person. It usually has like a square head, and he is programmed by a computer and can talk and do funny things and give you answers like a computer can. But it looks like a person with arms and legs and kind of moves very mechanically. Did you guess robot? Robot starts with the letter R. So boys and girls, Rodney's going to sing now for a few minutes and introduce himself. Rodney the Raccoon.
Rodney Raccoon is my name. Rapping round has been my game. And through the sun, the rain, and the snow, seeking our words as I go. I spend my lifetime rambling round. Yeah, someday I just might settle down. Until then, I'll travel far. Yeah, searching for the letter R. I found raspberries on the range, rings of roses on the plains, a rattlesnake out on a ranch, ridges of rocks on a river bank. I spend my lifetime rambling round. Someday I just might settle down. Until then I'll travel far. Yeah, searching for the letter R.
So boys and girls, Rodney was rambling around. That means he's traveling around from one place to the other. And it gave me an idea about looking for some rocks. That's a fun activity to do. You can go out on a nice day and find some rocks, start with the letter R, and you can paint some of those rocks. Or even draw your letters on those rocks and see if you can sequence the alphabet maybe from A all the way down to the letter R or even to the letter Z. Rodney's going to take a rocket with them on our train. And maybe one of these videos when we finish the rest of our letters, we'll make our letter train with all of our letter friends. But Rodney's going to be carrying a rocket when he gets on the train. Some ideas for you to do over the week are practicing your capital R and the lowercase, because they look very different from each other. The lowercase letter R, capital and letter. And before I forget, I want to mention 2 very special R names that I know. R is for Rosalind and R is for Rowan. 2 names. Some other ideas for show and tell would maybe be a rocket or a rabbit or a raccoon. And what we want to do is when you think of the letter R, think of all the rainy day activities you can do. So you can make some raindrops and put all the capital letter R's on the R side. That would be something we'd be working on together as a class. And then make some raindrops with some lowercase R's. And put some lowercase R's on the clouds. Capital R and lowercase R are very different. So those we have to remember what they look like. Boys and girls, next we have a friend of the raccoon. And it's a word that you will know from our word family, words that we're starting to read. And it starts with the letter R. It's Rowdy the Rodeo rat. So we're going to listen to this story, and as we're going through this story, you're going to see lots of words that you'll be familiar with. Cat and rat from our ant family. There's a lot of the words the. There's from our N family, T-E-N. Hat. They're wearing a big hat, a 10-gallon hat. So take notice to the words that you can read that you're familiar with, because this story is actually about learning how to read, because R is for reading, and reading starts with the letter R. So boys and girls, pay close attention. I'm going to point to them, and you'll notice the capital R is there because it's important, because that's his name, Rowdy.
I like the Wild West, and I like rodeos.
Then you'll love the book and song for letter R, all about Rowdy the rodeo rat. Rowdy the rascal was a rodeo rat, ripping and racing in his 10-gallon hat, riding and roping on his ragged old cat. Rowdy the rascal, the rodeo rat. Rosie O'Reilly, all dressed up in red, came to his rescue or he would be dead. Rowdy was ready to eat some bad feed, 'cause Rowdy the rodeo rat couldn't read. And the moral to the story, if you want to read, you have to practice to succeed, and you'll be reading the rest of your days. Rowdy, you rascal, you'll be making straight A's. Rowdy the rascal was a rodeo rat, ripping and racing in his 10-gallon hat, riding and roping on his ragged old cat. Rowdy the rascal, the rodeo rat. Rosie O'Reilly, all dressed up in red, came to his rescue or he would be dead. Rowdy was ready to eat some bad feed, 'cause Rowdy the rodeo rat couldn't read. And the moral to the story, if you want to read, you have to practice to succeed, and you'll be reading the rest of your days. Rowdy, you rascal, you'll be making straight A's. All right, try it yourself this time, kids.
Here we go, boys and girls. Rowdy the rascal was a rodeo rat, ripping and racing in his 10-gallon hat, riding and roping on his ragged old cat. Rowdy the rascal, the rodeo rat. Rosie O'Reilly, all dressed up in red, came to his rescue or he would be dead. Rowdy was ready to eat some bad feed, 'cause Rowdy the rodeo rat couldn't read. And the moral to the story, if you want to read, you have to practice to succeed. You'll be reading the rest of your days. Rowdy the rascal, you'll be making straight A's. So boys and girls, take Rowdy's advice and read lots of books this week for the letter R. Bye for now.